The senator from 27th.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, I bring before you the State Assurance of Voter Eligibility Amendment, otherwise known as the SAVE Amendment. And for those of you that are aware of the Save America Act that has passed out of the United States House of Representatives and has seemed to stall out in the United States Senate, this amendment, Mr. President, just does two things. It ensures in the Georgia Constitution that only individuals who are citizens of the United States and residents of Georgia will be allowed to vote in our elections, and that in order to do so, those same individuals must use a photographic ID when they vote in our elections. Mr. President, that's what this resolution does.
Nothing wrong with secure election, right?
Thank you, Mr. President. Does the gentleman yield?
I do.
Is it not true that Joe Biden won the 2020 election?
Not this again.
Senator, it is true that the 2020 election resulted in the certification of Joe Biden as president. But if you will allow me, since you want to bring up 2020.
Do they have nothing better to ask?
3,930 double scan ballots in Fulton County. 39,000 residents of Fulton County who had filed a national change of address form with the U.S. Post Office voted in that election. We know that 84% of those 39,000, either by their own admission or the filing of a new voter registration, were likely ineligible to vote in that election. We know that 315,000 ballot tapes were not certified and maintained the chain of custody as they were supposed to. And we know that there are thousands of missing ballot images from the 2020 election. The data also shows us that it appears that those 3,930 double scan ballots was done intentionally. Now, I have told the story in this well of Gabriel Sterling before, but I'll tell it again. Because Gabriel Sterling purchased his home in 2018 from an individual who then moved out of the state of Georgia. Gabriel Sterling, as you know, Senator, was the chief operating officer for the Secretary of State in Georgia. Gabriel Sterling was shocked. Gabriel Sterling received a piece of mail addressed to the individual who had sold him the home, who was living out of state, from Fair Fight. And Fair Fight was reminding that individual who lived out of state to return their ballot because it was requested by the mail. Sterling then does a little investigation of his own and discovers this individual who had moved out of state voted in the 2020 presidential election illegally. That vote was counted. It was rescanned and counted again in a recount, and it was counted in the hand count, Senator. So I would tell you, due to the shenanigans of 2020, I don't believe that we can say we know who the rightful winner was. We do, of course, know that Joe Biden was certified, but I do not believe that we know, due to the small margin of error, who the actual winner was.
So based upon your logic there, you do not agree that Donald Trump lost the 2020 election. Is that
seriously
accurate? Based
Senator,
upon
I've given you my answer to, you're just asking an inverse of the same question. My answer would be the same. Well, in the answer that I gave to the senator from the second, I referenced the state election board cases from just last month, where I believe that it was 2 counties of their own accord acknowledged that there were non-citizens that were registered to vote on their voter rolls. And then I referenced the Cobb County case, where we have confirmation that a non-citizen voted over 20 times in Cobb County. Now, I will acknowledge to you that that is A, an exception, and B, a violation of current law. So my attempt is not to change current law. My attempt, Senator, frankly, since there's been so much discussion by members of your party about finding ways for non-citizens to vote in local elections, I want to ensure that never happens in Georgia. And the best way that I know to do that is to change the Constitution so that if Democrats ever do want to change the law so that non-citizens vote in our elections, they're going to have to put that on the ballot and let the people vote. Thank you.
Thank you.
These are the people that is supposed to represent you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Does the gentleman yield?
Yes, sir, I do.
Is it not true that I served as the chief registrar in elections for 16 years?
You know, I learn something new about you every day. I did not know that.
And I appreciate this bill. I know from experience there have been people that were non-citizens of the United States actually voted in Baldwin County in a couple of elections. I appreciate you bringing this bill forward, and I support it 100%. Thank you, sir.
Chairman, thank you.